Hello guys, welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about self-sabotage. Um, Now, the reason why I want to talk about this particular topic is that I understood intellectually how self-sabotage works before, but a couple of years ago something happened to me and I saw how in practice, in real time, I am sabotaging my own success. And probably you can relate to that to some extent. So, first of all, we all have desires and dreams, right? That we want to achieve, hopefully, sometime in our life. And I'm not an exception. Um, now, have you ever wondered why is it that it's so hard to achieve dreams and desires? Sometimes, not always, but most of the time, I think it's quite hard. That's why we call them dreams. Um, well, from what I understand now, is like before I had this idea that if only I tried hard enough, I will get to where I want to be in life and I will achieve my dream. But now I see it a bit differently. So let me tell you what happened to me a couple of years ago. So I was going through emotional turmoil, we can call that, mostly internal turmoil. So it wasn't really related to anything that was going on outside in my life. But I was experiencing very negative emotions inside. So and then it got pretty intense to the point that it was very hard bearing them. But then it's like a balloon, it got deflated, and all the negativity seemed to have disappeared. And I realized that something that I always dreamt of has started happening to me, like out of the blue. That my deepest desires were about to be met. So one day I will tell you exactly what these desires were, but for the purposes of this video, it's not that important. Now, what happened next was absolutely unbelievable. So you would have thought that there I am finally, and something that I always wanted is coming my way. And guess what? I couldn't handle it. So the situation of me being so close to achieving my dreams was so uncomfortable. I could physically feel the discomfort in my body that I just couldn't handle it. I wanted to go back. I wanted to reverse this situation, go back to the situation where I didn't have this. And what I did eventually was I was at the time I was uh, recovering from certain addictive behaviors. That's also a topic for another video. So what I did, I actually relapsed on my addiction, uh, just so I didn't have to face this discomfort, you know. And that was the first time in my life when I actually saw that the reason why I don't get what I want in life is not because I don't try hard enough, because that particular point, I didn't really do anything to attract those conditions, right? They seemingly came to me out of the blue. But the problem was that I just accept, I couldn't accept those things. Actually, I wasn't ready to accept it, right? So now you may ask, why is that? Why did that happen? How is it possible that we cannot accept? Well, uh, I think it's because I have, like many of us have, a very deep-seated um, sense of unworthiness, right? So I convince myself that if only I achieved certain things, then I would be happy, right? It's a normal thing. What can be more normal than that? But the reality is that deep down, I will not be able to accept those things just yet because I don't feel like I am worthy. Okay? Maybe in my childhood something happened where I was happy, I did achieve what I wanted, but it was taken away from me, by my parents or maybe by someone in school. I don't know. I mean, there are many options here in the childhood, as we know. So, and that stayed with me, that impression stayed with me. So now, every time I am close to achieving something, I go, I freeze. So I actually get this fight or flight response. The specific location for that emotion is right here in my solar plexus. I can always feel it. It gets tight and it's very, very unpleasant and uncomfortable. It makes me want to run away, distract myself, run away from this uncomfortable situation. What? I'm close to achieving this, or whatever it might be. No, 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 it's not ready. Let's go back. And yeah, that's how it goes. So you know how they say, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Well, I think that's when I understood the exact meaning of this expression. I got what I wanted, but I wasn't be able to accept it. Okay, so what to do about this, right? It seems like such a trap that I walked myself in, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this. The trap of wanting something so bad that when it actually comes your way, you can't accept it. You panic, you don't know what to do. So what to do about that? Well, one thing I'll tell you that you shouldn't do is try to fight it. Try to go and achieve it anyway. That's what a lot of people will tell you. Go, don't ignore that. I mean, I guess you can ignore it and still go and achieve what you want. For me, it was impossible because it was so intense, the fear in me, that I just couldn't do it. Maybe some people can do it. But also, I'm not sure if this is the right strategy because at the end of the day, even if you go for it, you are still doing it out of sense of fear and sense of lack, right? Oh, I'm still gonna get this because this is going to complete me, and you still haven't accepted that inside there is something in you that is resisting that. Okay, you might get it for a while, you'll be okay, you'll be happy, but then I guarantee you that very soon, maybe a week later, a month later, you will again be thinking, oh, well, I'm unhappy again. What I need to achieve something. So my idea now, the way I deal with it is try to accept the fact that I am not ready to have what I want, right? And this actually makes me question the things that I want to have. Are they really worthy of having if I'm not ready to accept them, right? And why is this that I have walked into this trap? The trap of wanting something but not being able to accept it. And I'll make another video on this separately because this is a very important point. This is actually how our mind works. It creates problems by telling us that we don't have something, and if we had that, we would be complete and happy. But then at the same time, it will try to prevent us getting that. Because if we did get that, well, what is there for the mind to do? There are no problems, at least temporarily. So the mind will actually resist that. And a good analogy here is like some governments, right? Some authoritarian or even democratic governments, they create enemies, right? External enemies, internal enemies. Where do you think they got that idea? They got it from the mind. That's how the mind works. The mind creates problems, enemies. And if there are no problems, the mind just cannot, it starts panicking because it loses its usefulness to us in a certain way. So, but we'll talk about that in more detail in another video. But for now, I would like to say, yeah, so if something like this happens to you and you can feel that, oh, you can't accept something positive in your life, well, that probably means that you are still holding on to your unworthiness, like I am. Uh, I'm still going through that. So maybe next time it happens, try to pay attention, not run away from this defense mechanism, from this armor of no, 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 I'm okay here. I don't want to go there. I know it's nice probably, but I'm comfortable here. That's fine. You know, you have to reprogram your subconscious mind by allowing these defense mechanisms to come up, uh, and then naturally over time, when they come up and they see that there is no danger, they will subside or maybe go away completely. And there will be no boundary anymore between you and what you want, if that's really what you want. That's another topic. Do you really want what you want? We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, so just don't push this defense away, because if you try to repress it and say no, no, I shouldn't be right here, I'm gonna get this now, and you do it with effort, then you are repressing your defense mechanism, the defense mechanism that used to be used. It has had its purpose at some point, doesn't anymore, but you still need to honor that. You need to let it come up and stay with it. Okay, I am fighting. I know it's probably because my deep sense of unworthiness, and this is not easy, by the way. If you can't do it for the first time, don't blame yourself. But over time, you will be able, when you get familiar with this feeling, you'll be able to stay with it. Okay, well, this thing that I want, and there's this solar plexus sensation. Well, maybe for you it's somewhere else. For me, it's definitely in the solar plexus. Oh, maybe I should stay with it for a while. Just sit with it 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you will see that it softens up. And then you can take maybe more effective action. Okay? But you have to let these things play out. That's the only way that your mind reprograms, rewires itself. Okay? Not by repression. If you keep repressing it, the mind still says, oh, okay, that it is dangerous. So there is something to fight for here, fight against here, right? But if you let it come up, then over time, it just realizes, okay, well, it's not that scary. So maybe I can go and get that. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you find this useful, please spread the word, and I'll talk to you all soon.